Amy, thank you. It is being dubbed gray divorces, and more people aged 50 and older are splitting up. But why all of these late breakups? Here to talk about it now is our relationship expert, Rick Brown. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you.
I thought it was interesting because this study said that, you know what, people, instead of going through retirement together, they're finally free of the kids and supposed to be reuniting at this juncture in their lives, they're doing quite the opposite.
Right. And it is more of a challenge today. I think in our parents' generation, couples would stay together just to stay together. But now I think our generation, and I'm part of that generation, actually expects more out of our relationships. And so people are making choices not to stay in them.
Is it just high expectations, or is there a core problem here?
Well, I think in the past, couples used to stay together for economic reasons because they had clearly defined roles. The husband was the provider, the wife was to stay home and take care of the children. And now with two people having money and having more independence and actually being able to do something with their lives. They want to have more meaningful lives, and one of the ways we have more meaning in our lives is to feel more connected with our partners.
So how do you connect with your partners to avoid this gray divorce trend?
Well, I think you have to really find the opportunities to connect, and sometimes those go against the grain. Like, it's a lot easier to come home and just kind of relax and do what you normally do, but to actually find yourself moving towards your partner, being interested in what they're interested, being able to be vulnerable and open your own life to your partner. Those are things we have to actually push to do because they do not come natural.
And how do you do that? Just because when sometimes you're sitting there and everything's turned off, the TV's off, or you're outside in a picnic together, and you just sit there looking at each other saying, okay, what do we talk about now?
Well, and this is the problem because most couples have spent so much time either with their careers or raising their children that by the time the children now move on, they find there are now like two ships passing in the night with nothing to say to each other. And this is why I think you have to start early. You have to really work at spending time together, but not just spending time together, because people can sit in the same room and not really be connected. You have to find ways to get off, to be really interested in what the other person's doing, and to be able to share your life with that person.
Do you set parameters in that conversation? Okay, at dinner tonight, we are not going to talk about how the kids are doing, how the grandkids are doing. We're going to talk about us. Or do you avoid that at all costs because many guys would be like, I am out?
Well, first of all, I don't know a lot of people actually sit together for dinner anymore together these days.
True.
We're always on the fly. We're always on the run. So I think just to force something like that probably is not going to work. But you have to find those places where you might get up off the couch, for example, and go back and see what your partner's doing. Or you might say, hey, let's you and I do something this weekend. And you actually have to make yourself do that because that is how you begin to build over years and years and years that sense of connection. Without that, at the end of the children moving on, you don't have much together, and people are looking around saying, I got 20 more years to live. I don't want to live like this. I want something more for my life.
So this is interesting. So you're saying you want two goals. One, as you're growing in the marriage, you want to be able to be independent. You want to be your own person, but then at the same time, you want to add to the connection between you and your partner.
Right. I think it is important that you have some sense of value within your own life, but then you have to find a way to share that and connect with each other in a way that you both really take mutual interest in each other.
Gotta like each other.
Yeah. And
hey, gotta like each other for 50 years of marriage, right?
Right, but you have to work at that. That doesn't just come natural. It doesn't come easy.
Okay, our relationship expert, Rick Brown, thank you so much. Your thoughts were excellent.